Hello ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. I'm back again with another Metal Earth Kit build, and this time something that is a little bit hard to get a hold of. I have, due to a generous donation, received the Halo Guardian, and it's not in a box, it's basically in a CD case, and it's a couple of sheets. I had to actually go online and do some hunting to find the instructions, but I've got it. I've got the instructions printed out and I'm ready to build it. So, as we can already tell, it's two sheets. Let's take a quick peek at the instructions, talk a little bit about tools, and see if we can't build this thing. I've got the two sheets of metal for all the different parts to the Guardian, and I've gone online, found the instructions and printed them off, several pieces of paper here, so that I know how to put all of these parts together. But it's very much like the instructions you would get with any kit. We have the line drawing, we have a diagram of all the different parts with numbers. I've actually blown that up for my own benefit so it's easier to see, and I can also set this to the side and always have it available, which is nice. But you'll notice some of the parts have the same colors, some parts have no colors. The ones with the same colors are identical parts, and you've got the two pieces of the backbone here. Basically each side is the same, so rather than having them two different numbers and two different labels, they just number it once and color the parts so you can find both sides. We have one warning down here in several languages: should be careful of pointy parts, and that they can be a problem. A little bit here about the fold lines and insertion slots and tabs and how to bend and twist them. The blue circle means to bend the tabs over, the green circle means to twist, and the usual pliers are helpful for assembly. We have something new to me: notable symbols. E for engraved side, NE for non-engraved, and a little red hand for bend, do not twist. Other than that, we just have the usual flow chart. Start at part 1 and just kind of follow the arrows as best you can, and it's pretty well assembled in part number. With a few exceptions where parts are repeated, the numbers may jump back for a moment. This page 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. And in the end, you've got an option to either hang it or put it on a stand. Tools that I use: pliers. Pliers are very good. Long needle nose pliers are excellent for a great many things. Flat nose pliers are great for certain bends, and it's essential to have some sort of clippers to be able to easily and cleanly remove the parts from the sheets. Tweezers are very helpful. They're very small and easy to manage. They're great for holding on to small parts, great for making small bends, great for twisting and bending some of the tabs. I like to have an assortment of different kinds. I have a fairly normal set of tweezers, a thinner set, and a couple of sets with very pointed ends for getting into very small areas. Round nose or ring pliers are very useful for shaping some of the curved parts. You can just get the metal in between there and just slowly bend it and curve it for all of the odd shaped areas of your kit. There are many different things you can use to form the circles and curves of these kits. I have a very inexpensive drill bit set with a selection of different sizes to choose from. I have a couple of step mandrels that also have a selection of rounded sizes to choose from. I have a couple of dowel rods that have been sharpened on the end, which are great for shaping and forming cones. And I also find it very useful to have marbles and beads for making some of the rounder and dome shaped parts. We've got our instructions, we've got our two sheets and some tools to get started. Let's put this together.
The camera did not start recording when I started building. I was a few steps in before I noticed I had parts 1 through 6, or R2, R4, and R5 finished. These are parts on the right side of the model. Soon I will get to the left side of the model. All of these parts come together the same, just mirrored. I used the flat nose pliers for some of the longer side pieces to keep from warping them. Usually I bend tabs over with my fingernails, but with these wing type parts, the first time I tried to do that, it started to warp the part. I suggest carefully bending over the tabs with some sort of tweezers, trying not to bend the flaps of the sides. I initially bent the sides of part 12 in too far and had to separate them just a little. Now I begin work on the left side. These first few parts are just like the ones I missed in the recording on the right side. They fold and come together just the same, just mirrored. Be especially careful bending over the sides of the narrow end. Hold the pliers or tweezers firm at the bend and push firmly against the other side with your finger. It is easy to bend the tips the wrong way. It sometimes took a few adjustments to line up the tabs with the slots properly. The center part is curved, so attaching the two larger side parts is a tad tricky. I first secured the center tabs, then the tabs on the front, and then pressed the final tabs into place and secured them. It is not real clear in the instructions, but the sides of part 23 do not bend at a complete 90 degrees. The sides are spread just a little. Once again, I have to spread the sides a little to fit the part. What might be easy to miss on the instructions for part 30 and 31 is that you need to bend the tabs down at 90 degrees to line them up with the slides. The next several parts have a lot of little sides to bend down, much like the first few parts. I'm going to skip a lot of the folding sides down unless there is something I think you should know. The connecting parts have tabs near the sides on the inner part. You will need to decide whether to fold up the sides and then twist the tabs in the narrow, tight area, or attach and twist the tabs and then try to fold up the sides. That may depend on what kind of tools you have. This video has been edited down. I have not shown all the different attempts, adjustment, or retries of this build. I also clip out parts where I am studying the directions, searching for and clipping parts, and some repetitive steps. It may make it look like this kit came together easier than it did, but there is a lot of bending and adjusting of parts to make things fit. Work slowly, be patient, and take your time. Because I decided to attach the part and twist the tabs before folding the sides, the tabs were now in my way of folding the sides. I had a lot of trouble getting my big fingers under the connection to hold it steady while I applied pressure to secure and twist the tabs. I used a drill bit to help apply pressure on one side, where on the other it occurred to me to open the bend up a little bit to allow more room for my finger. When bending over the long sides of the base, I often push the sides against the table to bend them over. It is quick, bends evenly, and keeps from scratching the base up with tools. This is by far the most difficult part of the kit for me. I struggled for quite a while trying to get the top part to fit. I made all sorts of adjustments to line up the tabs. I kept bending the top parts more. I kept adjusting the tabs, folding the part in, folding the part out. And there's a little pointed down part at the front that I had to open back up because it was keeping things from sitting properly. It took quite a bit of work, and some of the tabs are just barely through their slots. I bent and twisted these last 3 tabs as best I could in such a tight spot. The part seems to be holding on pretty good.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Halo Guardian. Very, very floppy kit. I'm going to put this down now. To start off with, the kit was not difficult. It was just a lot of bending over side pieces, putting things together. It was cumbersome, a bit tedious, but not difficult. It wasn't till towards the end, when it came to time to put some of the larger pieces together, it came time to put that top of the sort of headpiece on. That was extremely difficult. And then to try and squeeze the other large sort of backbone-ish piece in there was difficult. It finally got it done. It's one of those things I kind of look back and I'm like, how in the world did I manage that? But it's done. In the beginning, in the tools that I use portion of the video, I showed some tweezers that I use. I actually have a much larger set. I normally only use the ones that I showed, but I pulled out another set partway through this kit and kind of ground the tip down so it wasn't as pointy. It made a flatter tip, a little bit thicker, just the right size for grabbing and twisting the tabs. So I ended up using that during part of the video, and I'm going to make a video about that coming up, about those tools and a few other things. I want to give a big thank you to little Katie for providing me this kit so that I could build it. She has her own YouTube channel, and I will put a link to it down below. She has built her own kits. She's made her own video on tips and tricks, which is a good watch. And she's even made these little bases that you can use to put these kits on. So some of the ones that fall over so easy don't fall over so easy. She'd actually sent me a base, and I wanted to put it in this video, but I can't find it. So I'm sorry. Hopefully it'll turn up soon. But at any rate, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Thank you for watching, and keep on keeping on.